Ásdís Valdimarsdóttir, and I'm very happy to have just recorded the 12 Telemann Fantasies for Viola da Gamba in my own transcription in a beautiful church here just north of Madrid for HR recordings.
Hello, Ásdís. Good morning. Why a transcription of Telemann Fantasies for the viola?
Well, the viola doesn't have very much original repertoire from the Baroque period, and as viola players we have until now always played the violin fantasies that Telemann wrote. But recently, well, about 10 years ago nearly, someone found the Fantasies for Viola da Gamba, and already now there are some transcriptions made of it for viola. I found one of them and I got very excited, started practicing, and then I realized I wanted to do a few things differently. So I made my own transcription, and I was very lucky that the publisher Biado in Paris was willing to publish my arrangement.
Yes, we will talk about that edition, that publication later. Now, tell me, in your approach to this work, you have used gut strings for the viola and a Baroque bow. Why is that?
Well, I'm not a Baroque viola player as such, which is, a special study that you do. And in my opinion, the Baroque repertoire works much better with especially the Baroque bow. And I was very lucky to borrow a very beautiful bow made by a Mexican bowmaker in The Hague. I borrowed it from a friend. And then the gut strings just have a more real sound somehow, I think, than the metal strings.
For the Baroque repertoire, for the Telemann music.
Yes, and I also like to use that for classical repertoire.
Do you remember the name of the bow maker? Just not to forget,
yes, he's called
forget him.
Luis Emilio Rodriguez Carrington. I think that's his name.
And the maker of your viola?
That's made by Giovanni Pistucci, and it's of the school that's called Modern Italian. It's made in Napoli in about 1920.
Okay, now tell me a little bit about the ornamentation you have used for your performance.
Yes, well, I have had some lessons with Walter Reiter, who is one of the main Baroque violin teachers in the Hague Conservatory, where I actually teach. And so I got some advice from him, and I also referred to his wonderful 2-volume book about Baroque violin and viola playing. It's called 50 Lessons in Baroque Viola and Violin Playing by Walter Reiter. It's a wonderful source if you're interested in how to play Baroque in the Baroque style.
Okay, and finally, when was the last time you heard this Fantasies by Telemann? Where the idea came from? How this idea was created in your mind?
Well, I've always loved the music of Telemann, and I think actually it's not played enough. I wish it was on the same standard or same reverence, let's say, as Bach's music, because I think it's equally good. If they speak the same Baroque period language, they certainly have a different dialect, because actually Telemann's music is quite different from Bach's, but in my opinion, absolutely equally good. And like I said, there's not very much repertoire for viola, and I've played all the violin fantasies, and I just thought this was a wonderful idea to add to the repertoire, and I think most viola players would agree with me.
Wonderful, I think they will. Now, tell us a little bit about this book.
Yeah, well, As I say, it was a little bit a gradual process for me to realize that I was making a new transcription, as I had another transcription by somebody else already published in my hands. And well, the source, the print that was found in about 2015, somewhere in Hamburg, I believe, was an original print from 1735, published by Telemann himself for the Viola da Gamba. And it's beautiful to look at, and actually fairly easy to read, and much of it is actually in the viola clef. It's the same clef for the Viola da Gamba. Sometimes it goes into bass clef, but it was fairly easy to read. And then I started studying the manuscript more, or this first print, and I realized other things could be up the octave or down the octave. And in one place I found that the previous arranger had left out 2 bars, and I was puzzled by that. So I include them in this one, and I try to do everything as close to the
original.
Yeah, as close to the original as possible. And of course, some of the chords are not really easily playable, and even in the recording I had to leave some notes out. I think everybody just needs to make them their own when they play them.
Well, thank you very much. We wish you the best success for this recording.
Thank you.
For HA recordings in high definition sound that very soon will be available at Native and later on in all the digital platforms.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, and the best of luck for you.
Thank you.